Hey guys, happy Sunday! All right, I hope you guys are having a lovely Sunday. If you don't know who I am Tara with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot. And if you want to learn a little bit more about me, all of my information is down below. You can check out kittensweightsandtarot.com. And hey, if you check out my Etsy shop, I actually have a little sale going on right now, a little birthday sale. Started yesterday and it will end Saturday of next week. So take a look at that. But also, on my YouTube community page on Instagram, I posted that I have my Pay What You Can readings going on right now. And I do that every year for my birthday, for my solar return. And I do it for about a week. So, whatever you think is fair, energetic exchange, just go through the links. You'll see it on that community homepage. It's just PayPal me. And then you put your question in the message box and your email so that I can email you back a picture of your cards in your reading, and give me about a week to do so because usually I get quite a few readings during that time. So anywho, I hope you guys had a fabulous week. And yeah, let me know what you guys got going on today. What do you have cooked up this week? Let's see everybody who's in here. Then we go back here. It looks like, oh, wow, everybody. Hey, Susie, how are you? She's saying hello to Janine. Hey, hey. Hey, Lisa. Oh, my goodness. Caitlin is here. Good morning. Good morning. Susie has posted, one of her latest videos. So definitely go check that out. And Caitlin was asking if people got to go see the Triple Daughters live yesterday. So yeah, definitely maybe go check that out. Hey, Janine, how are you? Let's see, just scrolling through. Talking about lots of live chats have been going on for sure. And everybody's saying hello, hello, hello. Nancy is here. Hey, Nancy, how are you doing? Good morning. Well, could be afternoon where you are. But hello, hello. Jessa is here. Hello, how are you? Happy Sunday. All right, you guys. So we have some good stuff cooked up here for today. I have lots of good decks here today. I have many a Will Worthington art decks. So, hey, if you guys have any Will Worthington decks on you, maybe you want to bust those out for this Sunday live chat, but you don't have to. I'm just on a Will Worthington kick. And I'll show you, there are two decks that actually I trimmed. And at first I was a little hesitant, but now that it's just like the art taking up the whole card, it's so gorgeous, because that's why I get the Will Worthington art decks, is because he is a great artist. And I am going to be edging them. I'm just waiting for my ink pads to come in. So I've got two different types of green coming in because I think it really goes with the art, but I'll show you guys that in just a moment. But before all of that, I want to say a thank you to everybody who is subscribed to the channel, everybody who pops in and says hello during our Sunday live chats, everybody who watches the replays, the videos, gives the thumbs ups, comments. I appreciate all of those things. Thank you guys so much. All of your donations, those who have allowed me to do readings for them in the past, either in a live chat or through my shop. Thank you, thank you. And I want to thank my patrons as well. They got some goodies already for this month, and I have a few more things cooked up for them over there on Patreon. So thank you to Lily and Dana, Alexandra, Jamie, Charles, Kayla, Syrian, Brandy, Samara, Jason, and Brian. Thank you guys so much. And my YouTube members, you know who they are because they have a little colored kitty head next to their name, and they're all in the chakra colors. But Lisa, Kayla, Susie, Jamie, thank you guys so much. So thank you, thank you. And all of the birthday wishes, by the way, oh my goodness, even James was commenting that I don't think I've gotten so many birthday wishes ever like that. Like, I mean, usually I'll get like phone calls and text messages here and there of like, happy birthday. But it was just like, I don't know, everybody and their mama knew it was my birthday yesterday. And yeah, I felt like so special. So thank you, those people that sent messages over on Instagram. There were people that I haven't spoken to in a long time. There were parents of students that I taught back in like 2009, 2010, whose kids have already graduated college as of like 2017. And they were wishing me a happy birthday. I haven't heard from them in like a long time. They wanted to give me updates on their kids. And I was just like, wow. um, and even one of our neighbors, his father lives like way on the other side of town, wished me a happy birthday. I was like, and he was like, my son just told the whole county it was your birthday. I'm like, I know he was exaggerating, but still. I have some people that I have to call back today because I missed quite a few phone calls yesterday. I was out where there wasn't cell reception. Actually, I was in, hold on, you'll see. I was in this place yesterday. So that's right. Hold on. I was in the Petrified National Forest here in Arizona. And that's right. It's whole entire trees that have been petrified. So there's like petrified logs and rocks and roots, and just the volcanic activity is gorgeous. And there was one hike that James and I went on where there wasn't anyone, and we were in the middle of just like volcano city, and there was those what do you call it, the holes where like some of the lava spews out of, not the main pocket, but like you could see all the different pockets. So we were like stepping over those, and it was just, and I do have a fear of heights a little bit, and we were getting kind of high, but it was that the trail was getting pretty narrow, where it was only the width of like, if I put my 2 feet together, that was how wide the trail was. And so I was getting like a little nervous. So we got to almost the end of that hike, but we were up there pretty high in the volcanoes, and it was so amazing. And James and I were both saying that something about being out there felt like we were home. Like we felt like even though my nervousness was there because of my fear of heights, like it was dissipating because I felt really safe there. So I don't know, we'll have to go back in and visit that place again, but it just felt like home, being amongst all these odd formations and all of this petrified wood. And it was just, dude, you guys, it was amazeballs. That is one of the top birthdays, I will say. Just out there exploring, adventuring the national forest, which, by the way, you have to drive pretty far between pit stops, like scenic views and things like that. Being able to see the San Francisco peaks, which is part of like the 4 different peaks that are special to the Diné people, the Navajo people. So that was pretty cool. Just wow. It was just wow. So I got a shirt. Anywho, let's see. Let's go back here. Missed some of your comments. Everybody's still saying hello skis to everyone. Night Daughters Oracle has her Kuan-Yin spellcasting and Wild Muse Oracles. Wild Muse is an indie deck by Vanessa Somoyina, a reader here on YouTube. Very cool. And Dana says, hi, everyone. I'm currently taking a hypnosis course, but I'm on a bit of a break. Just wanted to say hi and happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you have fun in your course. That sounds really cool, actually. So you have to give us the rundown when you're all done. Erasing. Nancy says, you don't look a bit older. Aw, thank you. So says, you look adorable, so pretty. Thank you. Liesel says, happy birthday, Tara. I didn't want to wish you a happy birthday before the day, seen as a bad form of my culture, luck and all of that. Hey, no worries. And by the way, Liesel, Liesel is known to have some pretty cool do-rags. She usually has a pretty cool do-rag that she's wearing. And that reminds me that I haven't worn my do-rags in quite some time. And actually Dana started wearing some of her headbands and stuff again. And that's what I used to wear all the time. I used to wear do-rags, used to wear my headbands like nonstop. I had all kinds of scarves and stuff in my hair. And so seeing you awesome homies, I'm just like, you know what, that reminds me. So Lisa, maybe you got a copycat today. But I love you, girl. I love you so much. Dana saying hello to everyone. Oh, Caitlin, you're scared of heights as well. Then you know the struggle is real. Dana says, yes, I will. Loving the course. Nancy says she visited the petrified forest. When I was little, precious memories with my parents. Very cool. Susie can't wait to hear about Dana's experience in her hypnosis course. And Caitlin says, I just bought a tiara that represents my goddess Nyx. Hey, that's super cool. And Lisa says, I noticed the do-rag hair. I like it. Love you too, girl. So, all right, you guys. Lots cooked up, like I said, but I want to go through. Oh, by the way, I got a few birthday gifts. Mostly it was lots of adventure, and those are really awesome gifts to me. But I got some tangible gifts as well, and I just kind of wanted to show these little earrings that you see here is actually from James's parents. What they had done is, remember, they were here for just over a week, and when they left, they had been staying in our bedroom in the RV, and James had cleared out the dresser drawer so his parents had place to put their clothes for the week. And apparently his mom had hidden my birthday gift and my card in there, so that I guess when James put his clothes back, he would see it and he would know to give it to me on my birthday. And so it was, I should have brought it for you guys, but it's this, it's about this big, and it's the hamsa, it's the hand, and it's one of those puzzle boxes. So you could put, your secret little things in there, your magical things. And so they had a couple of pairs of earrings that they put in there for me. And this is one of the pairs. They're kind of like rhinestoney, sparkly. I wore the other pair yesterday when we were out hiking. And also I wanted to say thank you to Kayla, who sent me the Kawaii Tarot. So thank you so much. I've been playing with this one. It is freaking adorbs. And our friend here, Susie, sent me the Tinseltown Tarot, and I've already started using it for client readings. And Susie, so far, all of my clients are like, where did you get that deck? The art is so awesome. So I'm going to make sure that maybe I'll try to use these during the live chat today. I really, really appreciate them. They're awesome. You guys are amazing. I'm not saying you guys have to send me things, but I'm just saying I'm appreciative of everything. Birthday wishes, birthday gifts, birthday adventures. I'm appreciative of it all. You guys are great. So I'm just let's see. Susie says, so pretty. Dana said, beautiful earrings. Those are so cute. Dana says, they are so much fun. Love the deck. Kayla throwing up the awesome emojis. All right, you guys, let's have a little sip of tea, which, by the way, I'm having Himalayan green tea with jasmine. I decided to add a little jasmine into it, jasmine flower. It's very grounding, which is what I've needed because I've been on this like birthday high. Like, so I need to bring myself back down. Being in the petrified forest yesterday was definitely very grounding, so that was good. Okay, so let's take a look-ski at our stuff for today. I wish I could be outdoors with you guys today because it is a gorgeous, beautiful day, but it's so windy. All you'd hear is like, so, so I didn't want to do that to you guys. It's just whenever they're, putting the stuff up in the sky, it kicks up the winds here pretty hard, and they've been laying down the lines pretty hardcore here. So it's really, really messed with the wind. It's very windy right now. Susie says, we appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. I'm not just saying that. I'm not trying to be cliche. I'm not trying to be whatever. I'm being very genuine when I say I do appreciate everyone, every one of you guys. and just being on this journey with me. Thank you. Susie said, I second that. Or Kayla said, I second that, Susie. Oh, okay. So, you know what? Let's cast an elemental circle, as I like to do. And when I do so, it actually helps me to ground so that we can get some good messages. But just like Caitlin has grabbed her decks today, if you guys want to go ahead and grab yours, then let's do so. I have my wonderful Golden Healer Himalayan quartz here. I'm really on the Himalayan kick at the moment. So yeah, let's go ahead and grab. If you want to grab your wands, you can cast your own elemental circle, but remember, all the magic is right here in our little digits. We are the magic. And let's ground ourselves and know that this energy that I'm pushing out transcends space and time. So it doesn't matter when you're watching this, the energy is already there. And now I'm in the present moment activating that energy. All right. So we're going to start off at the north, which is technically this way. So calling in the elementals of the north and the activation of the north to help us cast our circle today. Calling in the elementals of the east and the activation of the east to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the south and the activation of the south to help us to cast our circle today. Calling in the west, elementals of the west, the activation of the west to help us to cast our circle today. Our circle is cast, let our work begin, and so it is. Alrighty. Let's see. Caitlin says, Dr. Mystical highlighted an online story yesterday based in Ohio, but ships worldwide called Goddess Elite. You might be able to find some really good decks and other things. Oh, very cool. Definitely go check it out. Liesl said, it's so hot here, about 85 degrees. Whew, this is unheard of in the evenings here. I mean, I've never been to England, but I don't think it's supposed to be that warm at night for you guys. I don't think you guys are known for your heat. I know James has been there, obviously because his dad's from Devon. So, he would be able to say, but even when I've said, because I think Liesl has posted a few times that it's been insanely warm for like unusually warm for like spring, and we're not even into summer. And James is like, yeah, when I was there, no. Definitely not hot. So interesting, very interesting. Janine said, no decks at the moment, multitasking, cooking. Hey, ooh, what you cooking up there, girl? Do tell. Yeah, hey, you guys don't have to have your decks with you. Maybe just bringing down some intuition, or if you guys just want to do a little bit of lurking, that's cool too. All are welcome. Susan says it rained today. Weird for June. Interesting. I mean, there's a lot coming out right now. I love all the truth stuff that's coming out, and all these people are like shocked because there's some whistleblowers in the U.S. government who've come out and they're like, yeah, we have alien spacecrafts. Yeah, we've been reverse engineering for years. It's like no big deal. And then it's weird because some people are like, oh my gosh, aliens exist. I'm like, yeah, you're probably one of them. But then like the next day, nobody cares. It's like, oh yeah, alien spaceships, that's like yesterday's news. We're on to something else right now. Oh my gosh. Interesting times, and I was saying when we were on our way back home last night, I was listening to Janis Joplin and Jefferson Airplane, and I'm just like rocking out. And I was like, I said, I wonder what it was like, what it was like to feel the 60s, like the late 60s, when there started to be the changeover into the 70s, and how like the new generation was coming in. They had new views and new ways of viewing the world. And like the old generation was like, thought that things probably must have been going insane. I mean, I have like, my dad's pretty old. Everybody on my dad's side's pretty old, so they remember that time pretty clearly, and they do tell me. But then James was like, what do you mean you wish you were there at that time? It was probably pretty much like this time. He says, where everything is just, it seems like the whole world's just gone nutsoid. That's probably what it felt like in the 60s, except he goes, I would bet that it's a lot more intense this time around. I was like, okay, well, whatevs. Cool beans, glad to be here. All right, hashtag planet Earth. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Caitlin said, first card from the spellcasting deck. Happiness. Susie's loving that one. Happiness. Lisa said, I have the Spirit Oracle cards from Witch Casket. I had these for years. Nice, simple messages. Love it. Nancy says, I graduated from high school in 1965. Hey. Yeah, let's see. My father graduated high school in 1959. He would have graduated in 58, but my dad was held back a grade due to his English, because my dad spoke 3 languages. I spoke Spanish, Tagalog, and English. And back in the 40s, it was English only because they said that multilingual students would never become anything. Of course, we know that's hogwash these days. But yeah, so my dad graduated in 59. My mom graduated in 78. There's a big span between my folks. So yeah, it's so interesting because my dad's like a baby boomer. And my mom, I would consider her like, she always says she's like the hippie era. Like, she's like, I'm the homegrown era, So just interesting. Let's see. Susie says, where I live, it used to be a hippie colony. I have heard in the 60s, flower children and all. Nice. This is not so much anymore. Caitlin says, Nancy, my mom was born in 1965. And that's right. Your mom passed away last year. Sending lots of love to her. Nancy said, saw lots of those awesome bands live. Dude, you know a band I got to see live and I was so excited was Blue Oyster Cult. They came to the Del Mar Fair one year over in San Diego. And I remember I saw them on the ballot, like they were gonna be there, and I was like, oh my god, Blue Oyster Cult, because I grew up on 2 different types of music. I grew up on my dad's type of music, which is like the Supremes, the Temptations, the Platters, the Belltones, all of that, Chubby Checker and all of that. And then on my mom's side, I grew up on Led Zeppelin, Janis Joplin, Pink Floyd, Deep Purple, like so like, and my house was music all the time, and it was always my mom and dad fighting over the radio station. Like, my dad's like, no, we're playing the oldies. My mom's like, no, we're playing classic rock, like we're listening to KGB. My dad's like, no, we're gonna be listening to what was it, Casey Kasem, we're gonna be flashing back in the oldies. So it was, yeah. So then when I would do my school reports, I always wanted to do it on music. And I remember I was like, I want to do my report on Patti LaBelle. My teacher's like, okay, is one of your parents trying to do your homework for you? And I was like, no, I love Patti LaBelle. Who doesn't know who she is? And she's like, well, it's kind of a different generation, sweetheart. Weren't you born in the 80s? So yeah. Let's see. Lisa says, I was born in 69. So much I don't remember much about it. Sue says, it was a good year. Yeah. Summer of 69. Let's see. Night Daughter said, Mom loved Don't Fear the Reaper. So cool. So cool. This is kind of ironic now. Well, I say eventually we come to find that we don't fear the Reaper, which is basically our transformation in whatever form that may be. Oh, no worries. No worries, Caitlin. I understand. So cool. Lisa's like a rock. Yes. All right, you guys. Okay, we're gonna have another sip of tea, and then let's get into the Mayan date for today, and then we'll get on over to the herb. And actually, I chose a very particular herb. Not that I don't always choose a particular herb, but I got one for today that I think you guys will like. Okay, so the Mayan date for today, 6 Kan. All right. So the number six is representative of our home. And to the Mayan, the home wasn't just the physical dwelling place, but basically it was every aspect of your life because your life is your home. Your what you choose to bring into it is home. This is home right here. And so home is representative of, yes, your abode where you choose to live, but it's also your material possessions. It's also your relationships. It's your health. It's your career. And it's also your perspective, looking at things both positive and negative, and why you might choose to look at them that way, and your reaction to things both positive and negative, and seeing that there is a consequence for perceptions and reactions, which that's just the way things is. There's everything has a consequence, and the word consequence doesn't mean bad. It just means um, because of this, then this happens. And so with that number six, we take a look at Kan, and Kan is representative of the fisherman's net. So that's reaching all aspects of our lives. And just like a fisherman's net, sometimes we catch things and we bring them into our sphere, we bring them into our home, and we choose to make them true or to make them our reality. But remember that we are also in the week of Koak. And so Koak is the powerful divine feminine energy, that it's bringing in this like force of change. And so thinking about change, and just like, storms bring change, perhaps they don't feel too good at the time, but afterwards there's a lot of benefit to the land. There's benefit to many because of those storms, but down the line. And so bringing in the storm, what are some things about the fisherman's net that we have cast and we've somehow imprisoned ourselves in one form or another? Perhaps it's being imprisoned in a particular belief. Maybe it's being imprisoned in your material possessions, but somehow we imprison ourselves in things. And today is a wonderful day to take a look at it. And just like we have some crazy wind going out there, reminding us, Kwok, that powerful energy sweeping through and washing away what no longer serves us. Let's take a objective look, taking the ego out of it and taking an objective look into all these aspects of our homes, our relationships. Have we imprisoned ourselves in relationships in one form or another? Maybe we've fallen into a cycle of a certain type of relationship, either with our friendships, our romantic partnerships, or maybe it's the relationships with ourselves. Taking a look at our material possessions, maybe in the place that we live, being too fearful of what may be if we were to leave our comfort zone, and just taking a look at that, taking a look at our perspectives, our reactions, taking a look at our health. Have we imprisoned our health in one form or another? And also our careers, what we choose to do with our lives, where we choose to put our energy. Some people say, it's just a job, but it's just to make money. But remember, jobs are places where you are giving of your energy. And so just being more mindful of the energetic exchange that you have at the particular job. I know that some people feel rather limited in the places that they live or the types of jobs that they could have. So it's just taking a look at that, and maybe it could be time for a move. Maybe it's time to get out of that town. Who knows? But today is a wonderful day to take a look at that and free yourselves from those prisons, because ultimately you are your own superhero. So you are the one that is able to take that net and cut it open or cast it away. All right. So 6 Con it is for today. Let's see. Let's go back here. Susie says, I have gotten into English breakfast tea, Lisa. Whoa, that packs quite a kick. Love it. Caitlin says, the next card from the Wild Muse is the best of you. I love that one. So many positive messages. I love it. Lisa said English breakfast is my favorite, and Ceylon blends. Ooh. Susie says, okay, I'll try that brand. I bought Twinings, but it isn't organic, so I need to switch. And she says, I have heard they spray a lot of mainstream teas with chemicals. I've heard the same as well, which is why I have to be really mindful where I get my herbs, my teas, and why I'm really wanting to get this garden up and going. So that way I'm doing all my own herbs and teas. And I know exactly what's going into them, which I'm going to be pumping these babies full of light. Um, Nancy says she's going to be lurking. All right, we'll catch you. Lurk away, my girl, lurk away. Caitlin says, I think you'll like Vanessa Terra. She lives in Switzerland. Very cool. Oh, yes, the creator of the deck. I will definitely look that up. Caitlin, if you would like, over on Instagram, so I don't forget after this chat, if you just want to um, either send me her information just so I can like look up her deck and things like that, it would be lovely. Susie says, that is wonderful. Yay! Okay, so let's get to the herbs since we're talking about herbs and teas and all that wonderful stuff. Okie dokie, artichokes. Let's get to our herb. Well, it's not really an herb, it's a berry. It's elderberry. So let's open this up. Elderberries smell so good to me. Here we go. Elderberries. Love it. Oh, Caitlin, thank you, thank you. She said she's off to go message me right now on Instagram. Okay, so the elder plant, where you get elderberries and where you have the elder flowers, are used in a lot of different medicines, and especially in preventative care medicines. Like if you are wanting to boost your immune system so that you are better able to fight off cold and flu season, things like that. Elderflowers and elderberries are really good for that. I think sometimes they use the elder leaves, but there's certain parts of the plant that are toxic, so I just kind of stick to the flowers and to the berries. um, I prefer the berries because of their sweetness. You can make syrups out of them, you can make jams. I've done elderberry chocolates before, where I kind of turn this into a syrup and then I mix it in with dark chocolate, and I make little chocolate molds, and you can throw those in the freezer. And so when it gets time for a cold and flu season, you just start popping some of those, and they taste really good. It is chocolate, but at the same time, these pack a lot of vitamin C, actually way more than oranges. And the reason I'm talking about elderberries is because our friend Dana, who I know that she was taking a minor break from her hypnosis course at the moment, but our friend Dana, if you go to her over on Instagram at Spoonful of Healing, but also if you find, she has another Instagram page. I think that one is just Dana, so it's DANUH. Susie, if you want, or if anybody has Dana's Instagram information, maybe post it in the chat. But she's selling some elderberry syrup. So she does a whole thing with it. She's added in different spices to it to make it taste really yummy, but it's really good for the immune system, and that's something that she's selling right now. Don't forget that she also has her soul for the soul, so soul, SOL, for the soul. And actually I just got a reading from her. She went over my human design, my galactic astrology, my Western astrology chart, and just kind of mixed it all together. I'll have to do maybe a separate video or something where I'm talking about it, because it was amazing. And I know that her elderberry syrups are probably just as amazeballs. I'm probably going to have to get some from her because she does a lot of energy work with it as well. So you're not just getting something that she made, but there's a lot of energy that she's putting into it, a lot of light to give it an extra, kick. So yeah, that's on the healing side. Definitely check out Dana and what she's done with elderberries. But there's a magical side to elderberries as well. So they're really good for protection. If you wanted to do like a few little elderberries around your home, you're feeling like you're under psychic attack, or that there's just a lot of negative energy that's maybe been seeping into your home, and you want to give it a little bit of an extra protection, and maybe you don't have elderberry plants growing there. Just sprinkle a little bit of elderberries or elder flowers. You can also make this an incense if you wanted to. You could also make it an offering for your deities if you wish. It's really good for sleep healing. So if you wanted to put a little in a sachet and place it under your pillow, and you want to do a bit of healing during your sleep cycle, you could do that. It's good for prosperity spells. So anything where you want to promote abundance, just like in our physical realm, when we want to promote an abundance of health, we use it in, syrups and candies and medicines and things like that. In the energetic realm, if we want to promote some type of protection and healing and prosperity, then we're going to use these. In the old days, they used to use elderberry for exorcism. So anytime that they thought there was a negative entity attachment to people, or an attachment to the point where the person was not aware that there was a negative entity or a negative influence attached to them, the ego not being aware of it and kind of manipulating that person. So that's how elderberry was used. But yeah, there we go. Elderberries, you guys. Get some. All right. Let's see here. Do, 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 do. Susie says, yum, love elderberry. Janine says, I need to improve my multitasking to do a Susie spread Sunday special. Ooh. Lisa said, elder grows wild here. It's a wonderful wood, should never be burned. Yes, it's a very special type of wood. Just like sometimes people with like birch trees and yew trees, there's just like some plants that the folklore and the I would say the culture that's attached to certain things, it's like disrespectful to burn certain things. Caitlin says, I sent a link to Vanessa's channel to you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Susie has posted Dana's Instagram. Let's see if I can put that there for you guys. There you go. I put it on the screen so you could check it out. Check out Dana on Instagram for the elderberry teas, or her soul for the soul reading. Caitlin says, next card from the Kuan Yin Oracle, drink from the Emerald Fountain. And she said, Brian's birth tree is an elder, Liesl. Wow. Very cool. Excellent. Excellent. All right. So let's get into our forecast. And I said I wanted to show you the Will Worthington kick that I am on. And actually it started with James because he's really good at trimming his decks. He hates borders. Like some borders, he says they fit into the image, and he really likes it, but sometimes he finds them to be a distraction. In the case of Will Worthington decks, he would rather there not be borders because he loves the art so much, and I 100% agree. So he has his Druidcraft tarot, and you see that he's edged it in brown. And so I really like his deck, actually. I have my own Druidcraft, but mine's not trimmed, but I've opted to use his because I like it better. And then he has the Druid Animal Oracle, which he's also trimmed. This one is not edged, though. But yeah, I don't know. I really like it. Whoops, there we go. There we go. I'm like, where's the camera on this thing? But yeah, so I've been on a little kick with that. And then also, James has the Celtic Lenormand, which is also a Will Worthington art deck. So I was using that actually last night for my birthday reading I was doing for myself. But here are the two that I did, the day before my birthday, actually. So I was a little nervous about it because I was like, dude, if I F up these decks, I'm gonna be really mad at myself. So I was trying to be as precision as possible. And I ended up trimming my Druid Plant Oracle. And a few of the cards you're allowed to put your own art onto. So you notice there's a couple that I taped an image onto. Just to have some extra cards. But yeah, I think that it looks great without its borders. It's a lot smaller, which means it's easier for me to shuffle now. Before it was like, but like I said, I have some ink pads coming in, some of my archival ink, and I'm going to do kind of a mm, a lighter foresty green kind of on the sides for this one, for the edging. And then I have my favorite of my fave, one of my most prized decks that I love so much. And that is the Green Man Tree Oracle with the art by Will Worthington. And these were massive cards as well. When I trimmed them down, they're actually quite small just because I really wanted to get the art. Um, but yeah, I think they came out good. I want to do a dark green edging on here. So I'll show you guys once that comes in. It'll probably take me, I think the ink pads are supposed to come on Thursday. But you know, I only get into town once a week because I'm so far from town. I have to go across all those dirt roads and everything. But yeah, once I have it finished, I'll maybe post some pictures on Instagram for you guys. But yeah, so let's get into our forecasts and let's use James's deck. And I want to use from his Druid Animal Oracle. I'll pull a theme card. So let's see here. Caitlin says, I love all decks with and without borders. She says, Kuan Yin has borders of different colors. Very cool. Susie says, amazing job. Thank you. Yes, the green. I'm so into the greens right now. Okay. And I have this song. I was blasting my music when we were on our way to the Petrified Forest yesterday. And of course, my favorite music, I'm stuck in the 90s. I mean, I am playing other things. Like I said, I was playing Janis Joplin, Jefferson Airplane. But I like a lot of 90s alternative and rock. And I'm basically stuck in the 90s R&B, 90s rap, like 90s hip hop. Yeah, that's me. 90s alternative, 90s, actually even 90s punk. Yeah. Actually, maybe I just like everything. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe as long as it's just from the 90s. Okay. But I have this one song stuck in my head by the band Tonic. What's it called? Maybe I'll just sing it to you guys while I shuffle. If you could only see her eyes, she loves me. Maybe you'd understand how I feel this way about our love and what I must do. If you could only see how blue her eyes can be when she says she loves me. I just want to like, my electric guitar is in storage. I can't wait to jam on my baby again. Okay, let's see. Lisa says 90s is cool. Do you remember a band called Reef? I might. I'm actually really bad with remembering song titles and band names, but as soon as I hear a song, I'm like, so I probably have heard stuff from Reef. I don't remember the name. I'm so bad with names. I wish I wasn't. I'm getting better though, working on my memory. Now, people's names. I'm really good at remembering people's names. That's probably because I was a teacher for a long time. I have to remember people's names. Okay. Okay, looks good, looks good. All right, so let's take a look at our theme card. Ooh, heck yeah. We have cats. Wow. Wow. Yes, so we have kitty cat. Caitlin says this theme song from the Vampire Knight anime is running through my head. Looking at the English translation, the song is Japanese. I'm drawn to the line, the two heartbeats are exactly like two mirrors facing each other. Ooh, very nice. Okay, so we have kitty cat, little kitty cat for our theme. And then we have the Prince of Pentacles, which is like your Knight of Pentacles. Or if our friend Sherry Bug were here, she called it the Knight of Pants. And then we have the Three of Cups. Love it. And then I have here, the Six of Swords. Okay, let's see if I can actually hold all of these cards up for you guys. By the way, if you're getting any sort of intuitive hits, either on the cards I drew, your own intuitive hits, or for cards that you've pulled, please go ahead and put that in the comments. Susie says, Sherry Bug, miss you, Chica. Yes, we miss you. I know that she's been really busy, but yeah, Sherry Bug, we do miss you, girl. All right, so a lot of cards here. Let me go ahead and dive into this for this week. Okay. Actually, there's probably a reason that a song by Tonic is stuck in my head, is because the guy singing in the song is talking about being manipulated by the girl that he claims to be in love with. And that just because she looks at him a particular way and says the things that stokes his ego, such as, I love you and I love these things about you, then it's like, okay, you can go ahead and walk all over me. You can continue to lie to my face and manipulate me and basically play into what sounds like pretty low self worth. If you're willing to allow yourself to be manipulated over and over by a particular person. The song sounds really cool, but you really listen to the lyrics and it's somebody who is hurting inside. And so, with the energy of this week, it's taking a look at the things that maybe we really are attracted to, we really love, you know, and maybe they cause us pain in a certain way. Maybe they make us upset here and there, but because it really fills our ego and it makes us feel good, you know, sometimes, then we allow it to continue to happen. So, just like a cat being very independent and a cat deciding who it wants to be friends with, who's allowed to pet it. They're very discerning. And so having more of that kitty cat energy, that feline energy, not just house cats, but you know, all big cats as well in general, they have really good discernment. They know when somebody's being, you know, disingenuine. They know when somebody is trying to hurt them, and they do not wish to continue to stick around in places where they are being abused or they are being hurt, or, you know, they're not being nourished or loved in the way they wish to be loved. And so just kind of keeping that in mind this week, you know, whenever we're maybe we just have finished having a conversation with somebody, or we're having a particular situation that comes up time and time again, that we're left feeling wanting, you know, we don't feel like our cup is being filled up, not like this, you know, 3 of Cups here, where I don't feel good afterwards. There's something wrong about this particular relationship to the situation, relationship to this other person, or maybe relationship to my job. Something isn't sitting right. And taking a look at why maybe we're choosing to remain in that situation. Remember, I talked about today being 6 Khan. It's that fisherman's net. What have we ensnared into our life, and why are we keeping this cycle going? It's not to point a finger of blame. It's not to get down on yourself, but to look at these things objectively, so we could say, well, why would I continue to do X, Y, and Z? Why would I continue to put myself in the presence of a very hurtful person? Okay, this means there probably is some healing that needs to take place. Wonderful. I thank the person, I thank the situation, and I thank my own intuition for showing me that there's a place in my life that needs healing. That's wonderful. That's a good thing. And then we can pinpoint what the healing is, and we can get right down to it, so we can dislodge ourselves from these toxic situations, toxic people, that toxic merry-go-round sometimes we get stuck on. Be like the cat, my friends. Be like the kitty. All right, let's see. Let's go back here. Susie says, I drew Elizabeth and the lion, another cat, but I view it as a strength card. And Caitlin says, next card from the Wild Muse, decluttering. Ooh. And Susie said, from Wisdom of the Shapeshifters, Lucy Cavendish. What is going on out there? Are we having a tornado? If I blow away with the cabin, you guys will know. Let's see. Caitlin says, I love Lucy. Yes, I love Lucy's Cavendish's decks as well. Caitlin says, oh man, I just saw the joke in that. Mom loved that show. Susie says, Caitlin, your mom sounds great. And she said, she definitely was, Susie. She was everything. So cool. All right, you guys, that is the message for the week. Plus, you guys had some fabulous messages as well. And yeah, if you're still getting some messages, go ahead and place them in the comments. No worries. All right. Let's go into our special question. And the special question is a poll that I post usually Thursdays, Fridays, somewhere around there. And I post 4 questions or 4 topics or things that I could pull a card on. And then you guys get to vote in the public poll. I put that same poll out to my Patreon group as well as my YouTube members. And so if you're a YouTube member or patron or both, as is the case with our friends Jamie and Kayla, then you get more votes, more than 1 vote, especially if there's something that you really want to see talked about or read during the live chat. Okay, so this week the winner was actually there was no close. This one just kind of like blew everything out of the water. But the question is, what is causing the increase in matrix glitches? So oftentimes we talk about the matrix as being the world that we live in. That if just like the movie The Matrix, that if we were to get unplugged, so to speak, i.e. awaken, open up the third eye, access that pineal gland, that we would see the world quite differently. We'd see the world for what it truly is. We'd be able to see trees differently, animals differently, our sky would be different. We would see ourselves differently because we are no longer within the programming of that matrix. Okay, and so I myself have been experiencing what I can only say or describe as matrix glitches. And apparently there's been a lot of other people have been talking about matrix glitches and it happening more often. So I was like, I'm just going to put that in as one of the questions. Looks like that's actually something that is quite current because a lot of people voted on it and it won. So we'll go ahead and pull a card. Caitlin said, yes. Yeah, so just let me see, what deck do I want to use with this one? You know what? Let's use Susie's Tinseltown Tarot. But as far as glitches for myself, what have I seen? Well, I think I told you guys in a previous live chat, there was one evening where it was the blue hour, meaning all the stars aren't quite out yet, but the sun is already down and evening is coming. And James and I are outside and he's like, oh, what's that star right there? And it's always the first star that's out. It's the brightest. It's actually not a star. It's Venus. We always see Venus quite brightly. And I'm looking up and I was like, oh, that's cool. And I went off to go do a few other things. And when I looked back up, I saw 2 Venuses. And I was like, are my eyeballs deceiving me? But I'm like blinking and I still see 2 Venuses. And I was like, what the heck? And so I looked away and then I looked back and then there was only 1 Venus. And I was like, well, and I kind of, my logic mind came in. I was like, well, what if my vision was just funky and it's just the way my eyes were playing with the light of Venus? Oh, okay. So I kind of explained it away for myself. The next day, it's like around this time, blue skies, and I see like a biplane going by. A lot of old people around here, they got biplanes and stuff. So there's a biplane going by, and I'm like, okay, cool. And it gets to right where I usually see Venus, and all of a sudden I see the plane become 2 planes, just like I saw 2 Venuses. And I was like, what the, so again, I'm like blinking my eyes. I'm like, and then I did the look away and then I looked back and it was back to being 1 airplane. And I was like, something's odd. And then James's family came to visit. And I was inside doing something. I don't know. Everybody was around the campfire, and James was like, "Get out here quick! You, like, drop what you're doing. Like, come out here right now." And I was like, "Okay." And so I got there, and he's like, "Look!" And everybody's like looking, and like the whole family's like, and they're looking up, and there is what looks like a few hundred lights all strung together in the sky, and they're equally spaced. But they're not moving straight across the sky. They're like kind of going in like a wayward snaky pattern, and they're just moving really slowly. And then when they got to that spot where I usually see Venus, where I saw the two airplanes become one airplane, um, these lights slowly, like you would start to see them just kind of fade to black. The next one fade to black, and the next one fade to black. And so right away I get online, and online says, "Oh, this is what's called a Starlink train." And there's yeah, a lot of, there's 2,000 Starlink satellites out there, and what they do is they just orbit the Earth. And so sometimes you'll see the Starlink train of like them just orbiting the Earth, and I'm like thinking, because our skies are so clear out here for the most part when they're not chemtrailing, um, I see the satellites. You know, I see our like space stations and the satellites that are in our night sky, and they move really fast, and they're like this small because they're outside of our atmosphere. These lights that we saw were definitely very close to the Earth. They were in our atmosphere. And if they were just like doing their orbit, as they say, around the Earth, then why are they moving in a wayward, snaky pattern? And they were moving north to southwest. Yeah, more north to southwest. And it was just like, and so we're like, this is the modern day weather balloon. So now uh they've let so much Starlink and SpaceX and all that stuff go on. So now that if they're doing anything weird or anything's going on, they could just say, "Oh, it was Starlink. Oh, it's just, you know, whatever, Skynet or whatever." It's just you know, it's just Elon Musk. You know, so now he's the scapegoat for everything odd going on in the skies. And then that way everybody's just like, "Oh, okay, it was just Starlink." I'm like, "I don't think so. My intuition says I don't think so." So hence the matrix glitches. Okay, sorry, I just had to go off on that. Susan says, "I have heard about these glitches." And Caitlin says, "I just heard one of Brian's lyrics in my head. In this matrix, it's plain to see it's either you or me." Interesting. Susie said, "Venus the goddess." Caitlin said, "Exactly." Susie says, "Yes, I have seen two suns once only, but it is there. I know." Speaking of two suns, I actually have it in one of my channelings. It was when I was channeling one of the Dene spirits here on this land, one of the Navajo spirits, and it was at sunset. And James like pans the camera. He says, "Oh, look at that gorgeous sunset." And then he pans the camera to the east, and there's a second sunset. There was a sunset in the west and a sunset in the east. And he was like, and you see the camera moving back and forth. He's like, "What is that? Is that a second sunset? How is that possible?" Like, that's happening in the video that we posted on the internet. And it was like, it wasn't planned. It's like, I didn't make a second sunset. It's like, so yeah, these things are happening. Susan's like, "Wow." John, hey, he says, "Guess I'm here right on time." Yes, sir. Night Daughter says, "I got the decluttering card again. I believe that's a message for someone." Perhaps. Everybody tap into that one. Everybody's saying hello to John. Susie says, "Yay, Tara, that makes me so happy. It means our consciousness is rising. Humanity." All right. So let's go ahead and pull a card for you guys then. What is causing the increase in matrix glitches or our ability to see them? Maybe they were always there and we're just never saw them before. There's like somebody posted something. I mean, I'm always kind of wary about stuff that gets posted on the internet because I know some stuff can be faked, and so you really have to use your intuition, I would say, when seeing people's things. But there was one where it was a person filming a bird in the sky, but the bird was upside down and dead, and it was just stuck in the sky. And they're like underneath the bird, and they're looking around at the bird. They're like, "Why is that bird dead in the sky?" And it was like, So yeah, it's like videos like that are, coming out. John, what's up? Okay, so what is causing the increase in matrix glitches? It's like the computer, whatever is running this program, is like, not working today. That reminds me, I have to do another channeling today. Before Monday, before tomorrow. Alrighty. We have the Page of Pentacles, or the Page of Pants, as some may say. Susie's like, oh my goodness. Okay, so Page of Pentacles. What is causing the increase in matrix glitches? Interesting. Let's dive into this one. Okay. Okay, I got you. All right, so the message is coming in. I'm going to try to put it in words for you guys, and words that I understand too. Okay, so it's showing me a different example. Okay, this one's easier. Okay, growing children. You know how they go from babies to, elementary school age, middle school age, high school age, to become adults. We're always growing, always transforming. And they said, imagine the earth is like a little kid, and the little kid is growing up. But let's say there's somebody, maybe a group of somebodies, who doesn't want that child to grow up. So they continue trying to fit the child into the same kind of clothes, same kind of little hat, same kind of little shoes, same kind of clothes. But the kid keeps growing taller and taller. And they're really trying to stuff this child back into the old clothes and the old shoes. But it's clear to see now that that child is outgrowing their shoes, outgrowing their clothes. Maybe at first it was subtle. Like, okay, maybe if the clothing was only one size too small. Okay, maybe even two sizes too small. But they said we're getting to a point where the clothing looks like it's four sizes too small. And now it's becoming apparent to people that something is maybe not quite right about the world that I've been taught, the world that I was told I was growing up in. And so it's quite literally, the matrix is the clothing, the matrix is the shroud that is placed over our eyes, over the earth. And as the earth itself, the quite literal earth itself, is growing and transforming, that shroud, that piece of the clothing, doesn't fit it anymore. And so parts of the real world are starting to poke out. And so people are starting to see this. And less are the people who will claim that, a person just is a tinfoil hat wearer, they're crazy, there's nothing there. Because it's become so apparent, there's many more people who are seeing. They are seeing the matrix for the first time. They are seeing Mama Gaia in her truest form for the first time. They're seeing glimpses here and there. All of us to some degree. Many people would call it the truth, maybe the age of Aquarius. If many people believe that we are in the age of Aquarius, that it's basically being given glasses when the world was blurry before, and now we're starting to see clearly. And so that's just what keeps coming through, is that the world she's outgrown the matrix. It doesn't fit anymore. They're going to try to cram her back into it. They're going to try to make it fit her. They're going to try to get, I say they, this is beyond government. This is outside our world. This is 4D. They are trying to get us to continue to see the world as it was, kind of like the emperor's new clothes, trying to get you to look with your own two eyes, but tell you that you're seeing something different, that what you're seeing isn't there, and trying to almost, Jedi mind trick you. Yeah, there are no two planes, there are no two suns, there are no two Venuses. It's only Starlink. But the message is here: listen to your intuition. No Jedi mind trick or beating into you that this is the old world is going to keep you from waking up. Listen to your intuition. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's go back here. Caitlin says, in answer to this question from the Kuan Yin Oracle, I got daughter of the Phoenix. Yes, Phoenix rising. I second that, Susie. Caitlin says, I also got from the spellcasting oracle talent. Susie says, I like my tinfoil hat. Me too. And Susie says, 1109 911. Yep, they are. 911 is my number. Caitlin says, I see fields of green, red roses too. They are in bloom for me and you. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Louis Armstrong. I might have messed up the lyrics, but that's what I got. I love that song, by the way. Susan said, powerful, Tara. Thank you. Well, thank you, Spirit. Thank you for coming in with that message. So, all right. Page of Pentacles. I'm digging it. Mama Earth don't wear those old clothes anymore. She says it doesn't fit anymore. And I think I'm going to believe her. Okay. Going into the viewers poll, I wanted to leave that up to you guys again, what we would vote on for the viewers poll. Afterwards, we'll go into our super chats and super stickers. I know that there are some people that like me to pull a card for them or do a quick little channeling for them for the super chats and super stickers. So we'll get to that in just a moment. But let's do the viewers poll. And let's use, what the heck do I want to use? I want to use my Druid Plant Oracle, actually, for the viewers poll, whatever the questions may be. Susan said, 1111, make a wish. Ooh, let's make a wish. Okay, I get my wish. Okay, so yeah, if you have 2 questions, so throw your questions out there. We will make those the questions that we vote on. So we'll have our first question. Everybody who likes the first question will vote with a red heart emoji or typing the words red heart. Post the second question. If you like the second question, we'll vote with a green heart emoji or type the words green heart. Okay. Night Daughter says, I love the Epona question. My favorite author's first book series was based on Epona. So if you don't know who Epona is or Epona, that is the goddess who is atop of a horse. So oftentimes it's connected directly to horses or the horse goddess or the goddess on the horse. But I believe it's Welsh, the myth. I may be incorrect. If I am, please correct me. But there's a whole lot of mythos that goes along with it. It's actually quite beautiful. I have a strong connection with horses, as I do cats. So of course I like putting questions in about Epona or Epona. So let's see. Celtic horse goddess. Okay, excellent. And Celtic is Irish. Okay. All right. So yeah, sometimes I get my Welsh and my Irish mixed up. Oh, my grandmother would throw a fit probably, because my grandma was Irish. Janine says, what stands out regarding my divine feminine and divine masculine energy? All right. So we can definitely go into that. Let's do that. So I will pull a card for Janine while you guys are maybe coming up with a couple of questions for us to vote on for the viewers poll. Excellent. And then Lisa said, Welsh are Celts too. Oh, Well, I didn't know that. All right then. So we're both right. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look into Janine's question. And thank you, by the way. So, what stands out regarding my divine feminine and divine masculine energy? Okay. All right, we have a card that has popped out. Before I even take a look at your card, Janine, um, I was seeing your divine masculine and your divine feminine as if they were two people. I know that they're energies; they're not actually people, um, but it's you could see them wanting to be in harmony. Like I see the okay, the divine feminine coming in. Let's make a compromise. Let's, I will be in charge of this for Janine, and you can be in charge of that for Janine. You do what's best for you. You're the divine masculine. You know how to do certain things. I know how to do certain things better. So I'll be in charge of this with Janine. And you'll see that it's kind of moving along okay for a little bit. And then I see what looks like programming coming in, more like childhood programming, societal programming. Um, not saying that anything malicious was done with that programming. It's just sometimes the society that we're brought up in a particular belief system, especially within our home. And there were certain beliefs attributed to the divine feminine, although in our 3D realm, it's looked at as women instead of looking at it as an energy. Oftentimes, we attribute the divine feminine with women when it's actually not a gender; it's an energy. But in our society and in our world, we look at divine feminine as women, erroneously, probably. So they say, okay, the divine feminine energy can only be good for this, and these are its weaknesses. And they say the divine masculine can only be good for this, and these are its weaknesses, and these are its strengths, and same for the divine feminine. And so when you're trying to balance the two, sometimes those beliefs start to become at odds with one another, with the divine feminine, with the divine masculine. So although you want to have a balanced energetic system within the self, you want to be able to have the divine feminine aid the divine masculine and vice versa in order to create a singular energy that is strong, that two halves, they've come together and they make each other strong. But sometimes the programming comes in and says, oh, no. The divine feminine, when it's a little too extra, it causes problems, and you don't want to cause problems with people. And, this is this. Um, and since we live in a world where the divine masculine has been praised for quite a long time, not that there's anything wrong with the divine masculine, but it's the way that it's been used. And it's been used in ways that perhaps doesn't benefit if it was separated from divine feminine, if that makes sense. Meaning there are some attributes that the divine feminine is really good at, but making the divine masculine do it instead, so that only one half of the energy is basically doing all of the work. And this is creating a huge imbalance, but also the divine masculine suffering, because it's like I need my counterpart to help me out. I'm drowning over here, I'm struggling. And so the imbalance continues to stay within the self because of that belief system of what the feminine can do, should do, according to everybody else's thoughts and beliefs, and what the masculine can do, should do, instead of let's just bring the two together and have them work in harmony. It's, oh, at this time I'm only masculine. When I'm at work, I only do the masculine. When I'm at home and I'm creating, okay, then I can do the feminine. Instead of, I can bring the feminine to my job, I can bring my masculine to the home, and we can work together. Okay, so the card that came in was Puffball with the druid plant. oracle. And puffball is a type of fungi. It's a fun guy. Yes, so it's a not really a mushroom, I would say, but it's yeah, it's a fungus. Okay, so let's take a look at this one. Okay. Okay. All right. So there's a frog in the picture with the puffball, and you know that when um, like mushrooms or truffles or fungi of any kind are growing, they need particular conditions. They need a particular type of soil. It has to have the right type of nutrients, the right type of dampness, the just the right amount of shade and the right amount of sun. It has to be balanced in order for something like a mushroom or a puffball to form. And we know that many mushrooms can be beneficial, many can also be harmful. So there's a balance in that. There's a balance in that system where sometimes things have light, sometimes things have dark. But from that balance is also sprouting from another type of balance, the right type of dryness with the right type of moisture, the right type of sun with the right type of shade, all coming together as one. If there was just that masculine, if there was just sun pouring in, then the puffball would never be. If there were only one type of mushroom, let's say the poisonous kind, then certain medicines would never be. So again, it's the balancing of the two and trying to understand how one might be becoming toxic just because it's meant to carry the load of both energies instead of both energies trying to come together. So it's saying here, moving forward, some actionable steps. Next time you are working on your creative projects, or next time you are working on, doing work stuff, or maybe when you're interacting with people, or even certain people, like when you're interacting with strangers versus the people that you know and love. Which energy do you believe is coming forward in those instances? How would you classify it? How would you define it? Would you say it's a balanced energy? When you're in contact with a stranger, would you say more of your divine feminine, your feminine energy is coming in, or is it more of your masculine energy? Or is it a combination of the two? And from there, you'll start to be able to make more conscious adjustments in all of your day-to-day interactions where, oh, okay, right now I'm trying to interact with this person, but I'm trying to do it only in my masculine energy. And maybe that's why I'm having difficulties. Maybe I got to bring in some of that feminine energy as well to kind of balance it out. All right. All right. Puffballs. Let's see here. I missed some of your messages. Let me go all the way back here. Nikoti is here. Hello, how are you? Lisa says, yeah, Scottish, Welsh, and Cornish all are Celts. Okay, so Night Daughter has come up with a question for our viewers poll. So her question is a message from the goddess Epona or Epona. All right, so that'll be the first one, and then let's see if you guys came up with a second one. And she said, "OMG, Scottish. Brian is part Scottish." Susie says, "Caitlin, my son Cameron, his name is Scottish." And Susie says, "We have one question. Does anyone want to add a second question?" Yes, thank you, Susie. Surian! Oh my gosh, girl, how are you? How are you? Long time no see. Missed you too. And Syrian's just saying hello to everybody. John said, toxic masculinity has been exemplified as positive traits to aspire to. Everyone suffers under the system, even men. Yes. Like I said, it's got to be a combination of the two coming together. Even in Mayan belief, when they were talking about like the Tolkien calendar, and then they have their Hep calendar. They had the sun calendar, the moon calendar. It was basically the feminine and the masculine. You needed the two calendars to come together to have a well-balanced life. You had to be in your spiritual self as well as in your 3D self. even their day signs, they have a balance of feminine day signs and masculine day signs that come together as one, because they just believed in harmony. Um, I mean, when they drew them out, they would draw them as like a woman and a man, but really it wasn't that. It was energy, feminine energy, masculine energy. Yes. So understand. Yes. Let's see. This is Janine sending you love, friend. Sarian says, I won't be able to stay long, but I want to jump in and say hi to everyone and send my love. Meeting up with my bestie to celebrate her birthday. I hope she has a happy birthday. Awesome. Well, go have fun. Susie says, just that question so far. Oh, yeah. Hugs, bet your mother loved you loads. My mom died 22 years ago. I still think about her every day. Sending lots of love to your mom as well. John said, for everything, there's a season. Yes. Okay. So we have the first question for you guys for the viewers poll is a message from Epona or Epona. Is there a second question we can vote on? James, do you have a question?
About what?
The viewers poll. Any question for them to vote on. So far, it's a message from Epona was somebody's question.
What is the wind doing in 4D?
That's a good question, you guys. He says, what is the wind doing in 4D? That's good because it's doing a lot here in 3D. Okay, so that's a good question. Inquiring minds want to know. All right, so here are the questions, you guys. We got our 2 questions. Question number 1, a message from Epona, so the goddess on the horse or the horse goddess. If you like that question, please vote with a red heart emoji or type the words red heart. Second question, what is the wind doing in 4D? Okay, what is the wind doing in 4D? If you like that question, go ahead and vote with a green heart emoji or type the words green heart. All right, Sarian said, awesome question. So 2 very good questions. Go ahead and cast your votes. I'll do a little Jeopardy music for you guys. Do, 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, so the hearts are still coming in. I'll let you guys continue doing that. I'll keep on shuffling. And as I do, let me show you the 3 extra cards that I created for this deck. I added the Jasmine card to the Druid Plant Oracle and roses. And I added sage. All right. Okay, looks like we have all our hearts coming in. And John said, the wind is carrying away my secrets. All right, so let's count them up. All right, we have a red heart for Susie, a red heart for the Night Daughter Oracle. We have a red heart for Janine. We have a red heart for Liesel. And we have a red heart for John. Okay, so that's 5 red hearts. And then let's count up our greens, our little greenies. We have a green heart for Kayla and a green heart for Syrian. So that's 5-2, I believe. All right, so red hearts it is. All right, so a message from Epona. All right, the horse goddess, as we have learned, is Celtic, which could be Scottish, could be Irish, could be Welsh. Okay. Also, thank you, Caitlin, for your question, and James for his question. Always come up with good questions. Okay. A message from Epona. Oh, okay. Looks like it's actually one of the cards I created. So we have Rose here. And then Susie was saying, yes, red it was. Thank you, James, too. That was a great question as well. Uh, Janine said, from Metatron Oracle cards, my Amanda Ellis for Susie, I pulled 23 duality, balance needed. Excellent. Okay, so let's dive into this one. The roses for Epona, Goddess Epona. Okay, the visual that was coming to mind was somebody like myself, like fussing over the roses, making sure that there's no debris around it. There's no old leaves being stuck to it. Make sure they're getting pruned. Make sure that there's no aphids, and just being nitpicky, checking every petal, every leaf, and saying sometimes when we give over attention to things, we think that we're doing good, but sometimes we're doing more harm than good. So the goddess is saying, just like with roses, sometimes when you just leave them alone, they thrive and they do well because they're not being handled, they're not being touched, and that energy of worry and fuss is not being pumped into them because you know that they're strong and you know that they'll grow on their own. And they said, even though there are people out there who say, oh, roses are so delicate, they said, no, it's actually a really strong, hardy plant. Some of them are trees, some of them are bushes. They're very hardy when you leave them alone. But just like certain areas of our lives where we're so worried that something bad could happen in that part of our life, we tend to give that part of our life extra attention. And sometimes that extra attention is instead of it being love and nurturing, it's more worry and fear that something is going to go wrong. But it's under the guise of love. You're saying, oh, well, I'm just being nitpicky and I'm just handling this situation a lot because I love it so much. When really it's, I fear that something bad is going to happen to it. So Upon is saying it's just a wonderful time now in this transition of season as we get closer to the solstice and the northern hemisphere. We're going to be going into summer, and in the south, of course, into winter. That what area of our lives, or maybe what areas of our life, are we giving too much worrisome attention? What area are we pumping fear and that worry into, being nitpicky because we fear that something bad is going to happen if we don't pump it full of fear? Of course, we know that she's saying you're going to get what you pump into things. If you're going to put worry into something, it'll give you something to worry about. If you put fear into something, it'll give you something to fear. But if you go hands off because your energy is in love and you know for sure love's got it, it's going to be just fine, then you're going to get that energy right back. All right. Okay, Eponin, thank you for using roses. Let's see. Let's go back here. You guys had some wonderful messages. Janine says, the Night Daughter Oracle, number 41, as above, so below, heaven and earth. Angela's here. Hello. She said, hello, blessings, hugs to everyone today. Love, light, happiness, rainbows, and cake to you all. May you be having the greatest day. I'm so glad to see you guys, sending you so many hugs, And Susie was saying a thank you to Janine for pulling those cards for her. She said, makes sense. Caitlin saying hello to Angela. Angela says, want you to know you matter and I love you so. Amen. And Caitlin got connect with nature. Interesting, as I got the roses card here. Angela said, Night Daughter's Oracle. Hi Susie and Tara. Oh, roses. I just lit my Mother Mary candle that's rose scented a little while ago. Very nice. Susie says, Janine, I pulled Artemis of the Forest for you. Now you're independent and free. And dear energy too, Janine. Very nice. Angela says there's a whole forest full of roses in China. They're everywhere. I forgot exactly where, but they flourish untouched by humanity. They're entirely wild. That's so cool. That's super cool. Let's see. The comments like scroll by so fast. Let's see here. Angela said sending lots of love to everybody. She said there's also a whole mountainside of sunflowers in China, and no one knows how they came to be up there, but they're up there. And John said strawberries are a kind of rose. When you give them a little extra stress towards the end of the season, they develop more antioxidants to protect itself. Those antioxidants can be used by us too. Awesome. I love strawberries, by the way. They've been super healing lately. Susie says, Caitlin, I pulled a twist in the tail for you. The unexpected, a change you didn't see coming with a white cat. Good energy. Love it. You guys are pulling some amazing cards for each other. Angela said, very protective. Yes. Excellent. All right. Love your messages. Love the energy. Let's go on to the next thing. Oh, okay. So, before we go into our healing, were there any other folks who wanted to do super chats or super stickers, meaning me pulling a card for you, tapping into a question that you may have? Also know that if you don't want your question out here during a live chat, I also have my private readings. You can check it out over at kittensweightsandtarot.com. I have a lot of different types of readings. I have small one card readings, but I also have some bigger readings just depending on your situation or your question. So you can do that as well. But like I said, the floor is open right now. Let me actually just put this little ticker there. Aha, look at me, so professional. So we got the little ticker going there if you guys wanted to do those super chats and super stickers. Angela said, meow, white animals are sacred in many cultures. I heard a mythos from Africa that the animals fought over who was the most beautiful. Then the argument ended in them all feeling bad about themselves and complaining to the creator. So he decided to show them how hard it was to survive with a different colored coat and created those rare, beautiful animals like black leopards, golden crocodiles, striped king cheetahs, and white animals. Interesting. What an interesting myth. That's so cool. And Caitlin said, or was asking, is Brian my past life soulmate Hitoshi Takahashi? All right, so we will take a look into that. It's a past life question. All right. Okay, so we will pull a card on that. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what deck do I want to use. Ooh, let's use the Kawaii Tarot. Got my awesome Kawaii Tarot. Thank you, Kayla. Okay, so here are the backs. Dude, it's just so super cute. All right, so Caitlin, let's go ahead and take a look at your question. So is Brian my past life soulmate, Hitoshi Takahashi? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, interesting. I started hearing House of the Rising Sun. Okay. All right. Caitlin, we have the Queen of Coins, which would be like your Queen of Pentacles. Just getting that picture for you. It's just like super cute. Okay, so let's dive into this one. His brain, past life soul. Hitoshi Takashi. There's a connection. I wouldn't say it's a soulmate connection, but more of having been in each other's sphere before, where it seemed like the roles were reversed. You were more of an upper class lineage. I don't know, like if there was a caste system, you would have been, the upper caste. Just raised in a whole another type of environment, not quite understanding the environment or the living conditions of people not within that system. And this man Brian, being of the lower caste system, and it's not quite clear how. It doesn't really seem like you saw him, but how he saw you, like met you for the very first time. Perhaps it was just in passing, but wanting to disregard his caste and that we don't talk to the upper class, basically. Like, there are certain people you just don't talk to, you don't interact with. It's rude, and it goes against social norms. And it seems like he wanted to branch out from those social norms. He wanted to have a conversation with you, mostly because he was upset with something your family had done, and he wanted to know why. Like, why is it okay for certain people to act a particular way, but it's not okay for certain other people? Like, I would go to prison or I would be punished for certain things I did, but if you were to do the same thing or somebody in your family, then it's just okay. It's maybe a slap on the wrist or everybody has a little ha ha about it. And him being very upset and wanting to talk with you about it, but it being very, like, there was this barrier, this blockage. No matter how much he wanted to pick your brain, talk to you, for some reason he wanted to talk to you. Um, it could just never be. You guys could never have that conversation. And it seems like at a certain point you did, or at least you're aware of his presence, that he was, like you'd seen him maybe a couple of times, but there was like, I just don't interact with those people. I just don't. So you had no interest in speaking with him. And so it's just kind of showing that from that particular past life, some lesson to be learned from both was that how important communication is, and in understanding the world in which we live in, your own personal world, that we all create our own personal worlds. And sometimes when we allow the world that we're taught that we live in to dictate how we interact with others, how that can cause rifts and conflicts, misunderstandings. So yeah, you guys definitely had an interaction in the past that was coming up as most pertinent to what you were asking. All right, let's see here. I missed a few questions. Thank you, Caitlin, for allowing me to read for you. Um, Angela says, oh, she was talking about the African story. Says they are called messengers and creators. Favorite animal is the white lion in that story. Very cool. Sarian says, I got a question. It's been a roller coaster ride of emotion, and I want to hear what the universe message got for me this summer. Oh my goodness. That's right. Summer bringing in some stuff. Um, Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on me. Sorry, I have to go backwards in the messages here. Angela said, hugs, thanks. I'm glad the story made someone smile. Susie says, Suri and I pulled Once Upon a Midnight Dreary for you. Creativity, genius, writing, and artistic flow. All right. Thank you, Suri, and thank you, thank you. Let's go ahead and pull a card for you then. So roller coaster ride of emotions. So what is cooking for you this summer? So what has the universe got cooked up for you this summer? Okay. And again, we're going to use that Kawaii Tarot. Let's go ahead and pop into that. Sorry, and perhaps my brain is locked onto the oldies station at the moment, but there is a song that I don't think was quite popular, but it just popped in there. It's called Red Rubber Ball, and literally the song is about your life being, or the singer's life being like a red rubber ball that it's just here, it's there, it's everywhere, and when can this ball basically ever be still? And like you said, you're feeling this kind of roller coaster of emotions. So that was the song that popped in there. But what stands out as well from the song is that it's a red rubber ball. And when we think of red, we think of our heart, but we also think of our root chakra. And actually that color came up as well when we did our Mr. Rogers channeling. He was talking about his red sweater connection with the heart and the root. And that when we have a disconnection or we're feeling ungrounded in our root, usually is a detachment from the heart chakra, and thus we go into more of a frenzied state because of it. And so it being very important to go into the heart space and listen to what it has to say, because through the heart is where we find our root chakra grounding. The heart is the truth. Let's go ahead and pull a card. Ooh, ooh. All right. I love the cards that just kind of pop out. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands for you, Sarian. Let me get in nice and close with the picture. Okay, let's dive into this one. Okay, so what the universe, higher self, source, the all that you are connected to is trying to push for you this summer is taking actionable steps, putting the power back into your hands. With the roller coaster of emotions is usually when we feel like many things are outside of our control. I can't control this, therefore I will react this way. And so the universe is asking you to take a look at certain people, situations, events that have occurred. What were the emotions that were attached to those people, those events, those situations? And start to ask yourself why. They don't necessarily have to be negative emotions. They can be positive emotions as well, but really understanding what your emotions are trying to tell you. If a particular situation, maybe not the same, but a similar situation keeps popping up again and again with the same or similar type of emotion, then there's something there. There's a repeated message there. And from there, we can go into our meditation or however it is that you connect with your emotions, you connect to your heart space. And in the heart space, this is very important, is talking about the heart space, going in and asking, when this particular situation occurs, I feel this way. Why is that? And I know the logic brain, the ego brain is going to want to come in and say, well, of course, you're reacting this way because this thing is happening. No, let's get a little bit deeper. Perhaps it has nothing to do with the situation itself, but something that was similar or similar energy in the past that created a scar. And so that anything in the present time that is similar to that former situation of the past, those old reactions, those old feelings are coming up. So it's just asking for a bit of healing. That's what those emotions are telling us. It's time for a bit of healing in this particular area. And so, what the universe is saying for this summer, all that sunshiny solar plexus energy is to bring the power back into you so that now you can look at the people, situations, and events objectively. You take your power back and say, okay, I have these particular emotions. Let's see where they're actually coming from so I can take action with them. So I can take actionable steps towards your own healing. Thus, as you're healing, another situation arises that's similar, may not affect you the same anymore. And it's through our emotions that we see a lot of our healing occurring. All right. Bringing in that fiery wand, solar plexus energy. I think a squirrel just ran across our porch. So squirrel energy coming in. You got it. Because our female squirrel here, she's all about action. She takes action when the emotion or mood strikes her. I bet she would definitely go and investigate it. She's very curious. Caitlin was talking about how her reading connected with her. Excellent, excellent. Sarian says, thank you, Susie. Sarian says she appreciated. Let's see. Let's get back down in here. Sarian said, it's a deep question. And she says, I love that Kwai Tarot deck. It's so cute. Yes. All right. She says, yes, right on. I'm trying to journal more to deal with my emotions. I feel so much love here in this channel and appreciate your reading for me. I'm touched by your words. Aw. And remember, it's not I would say dealing with our emotions, more trying to understand them. Even myself, oftentimes I'm perplexed by my own emotions, but it's really just sitting down and saying, okay, what are you trying to say? Just reconnecting to the language we had before we even had language, words, written word, spoken word. It's our emotions. Okay, let's see. Let's go back here. Missed a lot of your comments here. Ooh, you guys have some past life talk going up here. Susie was telling Caitlin she's got wealth in her 7th house, Jupiter and Pluto. Angela says, we all have past lives where we screwed up, where we lost our wings and fell. Some days will seem like heaven, others hell. Don't focus too much on the past, the mess ups, but take the lessons. That's right. We take the lessons, we heal, we come back to the present. Angela says, we'll see how far we've come and a little of what you think to work on if you continue this regression. Sorry, my poem got a bit split up there. Hey, no worries. And Caitlin says, I was Catherine de Medici after my Japanese life. She said, I was a traveling saleswoman in my Japanese life. Interesting. Very cool. Angela said, oh, fun. I don't know about my past lives, but I had 2 very vivid dreams where I was 10, one of me playing music in Greek temples and one where I was a priestess. And I went into a temple and left a bowl of something in front of a statue that I didn't know. This segment, I didn't know who it was as a kid. I still remember the dream. Super vivid though. Wow. Excellent. So Caitlin is wondering who her soulmate is in this life. All right. And Sarian said, Red Rubber Ball song. Oh, thank you. Gonna have to check this song out. It's just like a quick little like oldies song. I haven't heard it in a long time, and I don't think it was like one of the more popular ones, but it popped in there. It bounced in there like a red rubber ball. And then Caitlin for Syrian got fertility. And Syrian said that she's still healing from grief from her mom's passing and just dealing with life without her for the first year. Definitely sending you tons and tons of healing love. Whew. Okay. Thank you, Susie. Always helping me out. Okay, so let's go into this one. Okay, Caitlin, tapping into Caitlin. Okay. So your higher self was pointing out that there are multiple soulmates for this lifetime. And some of those soulmates come in the forms of non romantic partners. And one of those soulmates that you've already encountered was actually a close friend that you had up until I would say you're about 18, 19 years old. And then it seems like the friendship dissolved, not through any anger or anything like that. It's just you guys went separate ways, and what was to be taught through that connection had been learned. So that's why the connection was no more. But I know you're looking in terms of soulmate for a romantic partner. So let's look. Okay. So just looking at terms of the timeline that you're in, remember there's an infinite amount of timelines and we're constantly jumping, every second of the day based on our energy, our intentions, our healing. And romantically, just in this timeline at the moment that I see, you two are a little bit older. I would say more like my age. Not that I'm old or anything, but more in the early 40s. And I don't believe you two have met yet, but it seems like there is, on both ends, there is some healing to occur before the two of you actually meet. And also, this person has to be able to move into your state. So he is in the process of moving. It just takes him a while. When it comes to making decisions and making changes, he's a little slow to change, and so he's a little hesitant, although he knows that it is time to move out of his state, moving into basically your state, which is where eventually you guys would meet. Like I said, just running along this timeline and just feeling his energy. He's working on building his confidence, being more sure-footed, being more secure about himself, starting to understand the power that he wields in his life. Very sensitive. I would say he's empathic. He just kind of soaks up everyone's energy. So at the moment, he's understanding what energy is. He's understanding, like, okay, when I'm in this environment around these people, I feel this way. So he's starting to understand that maybe the ways that he feels is maybe not always entirely his own emotions. He may be feeling other people, so he's at that stage at the moment. Very shy, painfully shy, I would say, to the point where he may avoid people for fear of rejection, being hurt. So yeah, he's doing a lot of work on the self right now, finding out his confidence, like I said, his self-worth, his power. And through that healing that he's on leads to the move to your state where you two eventually meet and help each other to continue on your healing journey with all the things that you need to heal on. He also needs to heal on. So you guys are mirrors for each other. Yeah, all I see, the only thing I can see physically is just dark curly hair and glasses and just the sweetest, most gentle energy ever. Okay, so let's see, let's pull a card on him. Oh, and we have the Fool card. Like I said, that's exactly the energy that he's working towards. He doesn't quite have he knows he needs to make some changes. He needs to move from where he lives, but he's in the midst of building some confidence. Like I said, this in this current timeline, which changes all the time. Haha. This is more in the early 40s. Yeah, he's just got to build up his confidence before he can make that move, before he can step into this card, the Fool card. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Caitlin, for letting me pull a card for you. Let's see. Let's go back here. Do, do, do. Everybody's sending lots of love to each other. Janine says, "Can I ask what is the energy around me and my son's baby due next week?" Wow. All right. And Surian, yes, sending you lots and lots of love as well. We will take a look-ski for you. So Janine, yeah, we'll take a look-ski. Fiction Lady says, "Hi, glad I didn't totally miss this. Can't wait to watch the replay. These always make me feel better. Lots of love to you." Everybody's saying hello. Oh my goodness. So much has occurred. So many comments. And Fiction Lady, yay! I will definitely pull a card for you as well. Let's see. All right. So, okay, so just real quick, Janine, taking a look just into some energy. You and your son's baby coming in. Interesting. Okay, so Janine, just taking a quick look at the energy. Um, it seemed like this angelic energy, but that's just with the new baby coming in. But it seemed like in this life, you are you know, you're the grandma, you're the older figure, being very protective, gonna want to guide this child. But this child was more like your guru and your protector before. Not sure how long ago, linear in linear terms, how this would be, but um, yeah, roles reversed. Just seeing roles reversed. So interesting. It's going to be an interesting, I think, relationship once the child starts getting a little bit older and you guys can really start having some talks and hanging out. But I think a wonderful energy. You guys are definitely soul family for sure. All right. So let's see. Fiction lady. Let's see. What was Fiction lady's question? Let me go back here. Oh, you wanted to know about your romantic partner. Sure. Gotcha. Okay, so let's take a look in. Okay. Okay. So, fiction lady, what I'm getting is either with the person that you're with or it's the next relationship coming in, there is going to be a big healing relationship, challenging beliefs of the past. What I mean is, let's say certain things have been a theme in past relationships. Um, and so the ego, in wanting to protect you from being hurt in the same way or having the same challenges come up, starts to put up these defenses, these walls. And so when the new relationship comes in and they're not acting or the relationship isn't going in the way that the ego thinks it should go in, because the ego is ready for this pain to come back or this type of trauma to come back because it says, well, this has always happened this way in my past relationships, so therefore that means that every relationship I have moving forward is going to have this same pain attached to it, the same conflict, the same issue. So I'm going to protect myself against it and maybe pull back a little bit. Maybe I don't give my all into this relationship as just a way of protecting myself. However, like I said, either the current partner or the one that is coming in, the next person coming in for the relationship, is going to challenge that by being completely different, acting much differently than those past relationships. This is going to bring up the shadows from the ego because it's like, wait, what? And it's going to want to create the old issues, the old conflict, because it wants to keep that narrative true. It wants to keep that story going. But like I said, this is a very healing relationship. So this person is going to point out those shadows to you and say, hey, I'm not so and so of the past. I'm not your exes. I'm somebody new. I'm somebody here in the present. I'm a completely different person. So you can't put the past onto me. And wanting to help talk you through those shadows and finding out ways to heal them and saying, okay, so if intimacy has been an issue, then let's work on that. Perhaps you were hurt intimately. Let's heal that so that that way we don't have an issue in our current relationship with, let's say, intimacy. That's just an example. But definitely a powerhouse of energy this person is. And this is somebody who definitely knows, they have a really firm grasp of who they are. They have very firm boundaries, which is going to be good when it comes to healing, because sometimes when there's pushback, let's say a person's putting up their defenses, they're putting up their walls, sometimes the other person, not wanting to create conflict, will just kind of shy away from that subject. Okay, we just won't talk about that. Where, like I said, either the current partner or the one coming in is going to be like, no, let's talk about it. You're not running away from this. Let's heal this now so it doesn't become a bigger problem later. So, very challenging relationship, but also a very, very healing and beneficial relationship coming in. Okay, so let's pull a card on that. Ooh, 5 of coins. I mean, look how cute that picture is. But definitely letting go of the past, letting go of how all the others went, and letting this person guide you on becoming lighter, basically, living more fully in what you guys have right now, and and just allowing healing to take place. And also, it's not a one-way street. You're going to help this person immensely as well. But what this person's strength is conversation and getting to the root of something. They are definitely not a person who runs away from difficult conversations. They don't shy away from the dark. And they want to help you to bring it to light. Um, I would say you'd be the one who brings the youthful energy, the fun, and adventure into this person's life, because this is also something that person would have to heal from. But yeah, it's gonna be powerful. So yeah, like I said, just the timeline for right now. This is what's coming in, or it's the current one. But yeah, hey, thank you. Um, And Angela was saying for Caitlin, may blockages move out of your way and be sent back to Nyx to be transmuted in the void of stars stay. May all the blockages within, above, below, out, and about leave now. Amen. And Angela said, hugs, thanks. The deblocking poems, they are so helpful. And Caitlin's saying, thank you to Angela. Um, and she was saying she is so disappointed of false paths. Um, all the people I've been in love with turned out to be false love. Um, I don't think there's, just in my own opinion, any wrong paths, even if something didn't quite turn out the way we hoped. Which I mean, for many of us, there's a lot of things that we've all hoped for, and it didn't quite turn out that way, or we got something completely different. But it's just, the road is topsy-turvy, and there's something that we always learn. Some lessons are joyful, some feel more painful, but there's something that we always learn about ourselves along the way. And sometimes, in not getting one thing, we learn something even more beautiful about ourselves, something that a gift about ourselves that we didn't even know we had, and then we take that moving forward into the next thing. So although yes, I do sympathize of also like myself and many other people, we've been disappointed in some things that have occurred on our paths, but we wouldn't be who we are now if those things didn't occur in that particular way, because of just who we are. But I do believe we're always moving forward to find our truest selves, our the most healing, and finding the people that will help us to heal the most. And sometimes we just don't know who they are quite yet, but they will show themselves eventually. Let's see. Do, do, do. Fiction Lady said, okay, thanks everyone. Lots to think about. This really made me tear up. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was just noticing my defenses this morning. Dude, sending lots of love to you, Fiction Lady. Angela said, squeeze, hugs, love yourself, raise your vibe. Love comes in many forms and it'll find you. Paths that don't work out each you to do. Oh, teach you to do better. Um, Susie says it wasn't using Caitlin, it was getting to know them then, and it didn't work out. And you know, sometimes, like let's say with exes I've had, now they're off to go find the people that are right for them. You know, I'm not right for everybody, and not everybody is right for me. And yeah, and as we let people go, we you know we've taught it's a two-way street. So it's not that you would be using people; you're learning from them as much as they're learning from you. And both people grow, and then they're off to find the people that are best suited for that healing journey. So, thank you guys so much for all of your wonderful, wonderful messages that you've had. All the people who allowed me to do their readings for them today. Thank you so much. Lots going on right now, especially this wind outside. But yeah, let's get into the healing. And you know what? I wanted to do something a little bit different. My little Himalayan quartz was like, you gotta use me in the healing today. I'm like, okay. So it's going to guide me on how to do that. Because I had something in mind that's like, no, you don't get to choose. I'm choosing today. So I said, okay. But I'm sure it's going to be some good stuff. So here it is again, my beautiful Himalayan quartz here. It's going to help us out. I know that we're all dealing with different situations, different areas of our lives that are healing at the moment. So we're gonna tap into this energy here to help us through that healing process. Um, all right, okay, so let's go ahead and dive in. All right, you guys, go ahead and find yourselves a nice comfortable place. It could be laying down, it could be sitting down, you could be under a tree, you could be outside on a beautiful day. Maybe it's not quite so windy where you are. All right, let's get nice and cozy. Right now, I have my Himalayan quartz right here near my heart space. And bring your awareness to your breath. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest. Perhaps you hear things going on in the outside world. We just slowly let those sounds fade into the background. Our focus is on the breath, in and out. And just noticing where you feel that breath. In the throat, in the lungs, down into the belly. Go ahead and continue breathing. Passing no judgment, just observation. And every exhale you make, you become more and more relaxed, feeling that relaxing energy, that peace, starting at the top of the head, moving down the sides of the face, down the neck, down the shoulders, down your arms, your wrists, your hands, down your torso, releasing down the pelvis, our legs, all the way down to your tippy toes. And while your exhales continue to help you relax, your inhales are helping you to ground into Mama Gaia. Feeling your feet and your sit bones create that deeper connection into earth, feeling your energy move down into the soil, finding its way to the heartbeat of the earth, and knowing that you are protected, you are safe, you are grounded. Your exhales continuing to help you to release any tension that you feel in your body, offering it back to Mama Gaia, letting her transmute that energy. As you continue to breathe in, continue to feel that groundedness and feeling the expansion in the chest, the warmth, the light that radiates from your center. Source energy, reminding you you are source. You carry source wherever you go, every minute of every day, because you are source. Feeling into that energy. Let it fill every part of your body, every cell. Let it light up. And while you're in this grounded, light-filled, relaxed state, I will be moving the Himalayan quartz to radiate that healing energy wherever it is that you need it, either within your physical vessel, your energetic vessel, or your 3D world. Letting it help you find the healing that you need, empowering you to be the healer. right, you guys. Go ahead and bring your awareness back into your body. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and toes. And if you've had your eyes closed, go ahead and open those peepers back up. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys had fun during today's chat. Again, thank you to everybody who allowed me to read for them. Thank you guys for your wonderful messages. Thank you for everybody who was here and chatting and all of my lurkers and everybody who will be watching this in the replay. Sending you guys lots of love. I hope that you have a fabulous Sunday and a good rest of the week. Remember, you can always go back and re-listen to all of those messages. Like I said, you guys had some wonderful ones. Sending you tons of love. Thank you, Himalayan Quartz. All right, you guys. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.